welcome back to Gapey's Greenhouse. Today we're going to do a little bit of pepper crossing in the greenhouse. And pretty much everything I learned about pepper crossing I learned from Kang Star and his YouTube channels. He's got quite a few great how-to videos on crossing peppers and growing peppers. And it's really, you'll have the most success if you cross two pepper varieties that are the same family, like two Capsicum annuums or two Capsicum chinenses. So I've got all my chinenses over there in that corner, and then I've got the annuums over here and some bacchitums over on this side. Now you can cross between the two, or between the four, however many different families there are, but you may or may not have some good results. But if you're feeling lucky, you can go ahead and give it a try and see what happens. But today I'm going to be crossing two of the Capsicum bacchitum ahi varieties, and we have the ahi lemon drop here, and you can see there's some ripe pods coming out back here. I've already picked a few of those, and then I'm also going to be using this one here, which is the ahi mango long. And what we do is collect the pollen from one and use it to fertilize the other one. And let me show you what tools I'll be using to get that done. So over here we have, I like to use a dark colored plate or bowl. So this is actually a sushi bowl for soy sauce. So that's nice and dark, so you're able to see the pollen when it falls in there. And then I've also got some cuticle cutters, and that is for the other plant. And then here I've got a plastic bag to cover or protect the flower after we pollinate it. So let me get set up and we'll show you how that's done. Alright, so we have our cup here, and we've got the flower here that we're going to take the pollen from. And I usually take the pollen from a few different flowers because there might not be quite enough from one. So we'll just hold the bowl underneath the flower. What I do is I just give it a light tap to knock out any pollen. So you can see all those little white flakes that are in the bowl. That's all the pollen from the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some more pollen from a couple of more flowers on this plant. So you can see here we got a good amount of pollen collected in this black bowl. It's easy to see. Now let's go take that over to the flower that we're going to pollinate. So the flower that you pollinate needs to be one that hasn't opened yet. So this is the perfect flower to pollinate here because it's closed and it's just about to open. Now what we need to do is remove the petals very carefully that are on the flower, and that's where these cuticle clippers come in handy. So there's a few petals, just kind of get in there, be careful not to damage it, and just clip out all around that flower bud. So there's about, I think, 4 or 5 petals that you need to clip off. Got one more. Alright, so now the flower is open. Now we take our pollen here and we just rub that all over in the pollen. And I usually do a few, maybe 3 of these, just in case one doesn't end up opening. Alright, that should be good. Now we don't want any other pollination to happen, so that's where this plastic bag comes in. So I've written on here what the cross is, and the pollen, the plant that you get the pollen from becomes the male parent, and then this here is the female. So I'm going to leave that on there for a good probably couple weeks until the pepper starts forming, and hopefully it doesn't drop off. And then once the pepper starts growing, then you can remove that and then be sure to label it so you remember what it is. So I'll show you here where I've already done a few crosses. So here's a pepper that I crossed a few weeks ago. This is also the ahi lemon or lemon drop, and I crossed it with the Korean gochu. And you can see here the label that I created for it. This pepper is a little bit curvy, which is unusual for this plant, but I went ahead and did that, and that is a cross species cross. The lemon drop is a baccatum, while the gochu is an annuum. So we'll see how that turns out. One's a yellow pepper and one's a red, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And I also did the reverse cross. So if we look over here at the Korean gochu plant, you could see some peppers coming out right there. Some nice looking, I'm really one of my favorite pepper varieties. Here's the other reverse cross here. So we've got the lemon drop as the pollen, and I just marked it with the lemon drop M. And then the gochu is the female of the cross, and this pepper is actually getting pretty big. It should start ripening up here pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to giving that a grow next year and see what I get. That's about it that I wanted to show you. I hope you give pepper crossing a try. It's a lot of fun. It's a great experiment. Let me know what you've tried crossing and if you've had any success. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.